All right, we're live, brother.
What's going on, y'all?
Big Bob with Ty
Yeah, Ty here with you guys, man.
on the Monday morning quarterback show.
You got it, man.
With our two co-hosts, Mr. A and P are not here, so me and Ty gonna hold it down for a good 5-10 minutes while those others join us. So Ty, what's up, man? What's going on, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, brother. Good to see you, man. It's been a while, man.
We've been talking about doing this for a minute, so
For a very, very long time, man. This talk sports, man. Why not, man?
Talk sports, why not?
And then being true to, who we are, man.
Exactly.
But yeah, man.
Because you can do whatever you want.
Okay,
It's open forum. It's open forum. You can be yourself.
True, yeah. But yeah, this talk sports, man. We've been meaning to do this for a long time. New York sports, especially, been dragging us through the mud for years.
Yes. Still is. Ain't a whole lot changed. The other still trash.
Still hoping in a couple sports, maybe one.
What is that?
Football. We got a chance of football,
Man, both teams are 0-2. Just lost.
You got to stay out.
I said we. The Giants just lost Saquon Barkley for the year. So you got Danny Dimes. You got Giants ain't doing it.
Hey, listen, man. They actually, to me, kind of looked a little bit better without Saquon there. Actually, because they were spreading the ball around a little bit more. At the end of the day, they actually had a chance to come back in that game and actually make it worth something without them.
But listen, you can't say they're better without Saquon. I mean, Saquon has a chance to break it every time he touches the ball.
Yes.
Every time he touches it. So I think maybe they didn't have the right plays being called for Saquon when they had him. I mean, he was actually effective before he got hurt. He had a good run. He got hurt.
I think when you have a player of his caliber and you're dependent upon without anybody else to lean on, the defense is really going to focus on you. So your ability to be more effective is hard. And that's when I feel like a lot of star or excellent, great players to show their potential, their true potential at the end of the day.
So let's try to about Saquon.
I think he has great potential because he actually is good. But I mean, when you're the main focus, it's hard to, still be that as effective.
And I think that's where coaching has to help that player. You have to like coach these guys to be open.
Yeah,
they have great play calling, great design plays. I don't quite know if the Giants have that.
I believe y'all dropped the ball already. I am the ex-Dallas coach.
yeah. Like we need more J.C. Garrett.
Yeah, I don't think
like we haven't seen every play he's had in the last 20 years.
I don't think that's gonna help y'all at all. So I don't know where the move with the GMs came from.
I mean, why did the Giants do that? This man coached against you for how many years? Yeah, you got him. What did they ever win in Dallas to make you say, "Wow, we need this guy running our offense"?
Yeah, I have no clue, man. I don't know what the owner or the GMs had in mind with that.
Why? He was the laughing stock. He was the reason. We enjoy watching Dallas. Watch them lose. Jason Garrett, brilliant game, get his balls. And then you bring him in as the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, that made absolutely no sense to me at all either.
Giants say, I'm not yet ready to win.
I have yet to see any play calling from him that's been outstanding. Those like, oh wow, how did they really get ready? Yeah.
Another guy I'm tired of is Evan Ingram.
Yeah, but I feel like Ingram doesn't get his fair due. I think he's really more so looked upon as a dump off with that quarterback. What is it, Baines?
No, man, I've seen them throw Ingram all kinds of plays, and the man drop. I mean, to start the game off, he got the drop seats.
Okay.
Both Sundays now. Starting off the game, trying to get him going. He's dropping the ball left and
right in his hand.
Right in his hands.
Oh, wow.
And then he tries to show some flashes when it's already too late.
Yeah,
he's definitely not a playmaker. He's not.
I see
not a guy you could rely on.
I see the more emphasis of getting him the ball when it's like cover two, or they go on man to man and everybody's covered. They'll look for him on a one-on-one island. But by that time, I think he's already like the third or or fourth option.
Yeah, we ain't got that much time to be looking down. Yeah, I know what they want to do.
You gotta know from the beginning.
Yeah,
because the most of the plays I've seen Daniel throwing the ball is like he's like already being rushed, hurried up, and he's trying to get it out to somebody that is still within the vicinity.
I mean, you look at that kid. I watched. Who's that kid, the rookie yesterday for the Chargers?
Yeah, they almost beat Kansas City. Yeah, they do. And with the overtime.
Yeah, they know they have a good quarterback, and they just work with it. They call plays, the designs, the runs. I just don't see that with Daniel Jones. I don't see what the New York Giants coaches are doing special to bring out his talent.
Yeah, I definitely don't see it either. I need to see better play calling from them to help, develop his game, or at least display his talents, where he could get you in a position to win.
I don't even know where to begin with the Jets.
Oh no, that's a lost issue. We're gonna have to wait for A on that
one. I think we should wait on.
Yeah, I think we need to wait on A because I know he's gonna have a lot to say. Me personally, I don't even watch right now. I can't even bear to watch them.
They're
unwatchable right now.
Complete train wreck.
At least when they had Le'Veon Bell healthy.
Exactly. We went down first game.
Shoot. It was disgusting because I got him in my fantasy football. I did bad with that. I did really bad.
What do you have replacing him?
Right now, I did bad again. I did Barber, the rookie running back that they had from Washington. But I just noticed this week with the reviews that he only gets the ball in the goal line situations. And this week they didn't really have any, goal line situations or short.
That's in Washington?
Yeah, the Washington running back, Brown. He didn't do good this week for me at all. I'm trying to replace him again. He had a lot of injuries out there.
The waiver wire. You scouring the waiver wire.
Yeah, pretty much, man. There's a lot of
you got a lot of people that are hurt.
Definitely.
So you could definitely find some players. I know they're looking at Devontae Freeman coming to the Giants, so that might be somebody you need to look at for your team.
Maybe. Definitely something. The running back that you guys had this week,
also Leonard Fournette. If you don't have Leonard Fournette, that's somebody you need to pick up. It looks like Tampa Bay is going to be a real good fit for him.
Got you. I need to check that out. I'm pretty sure he's probably already taken.
Yeah, I mean, if you own it, he had like 100 some odd yards, 2 touchdowns yesterday, 12 carries. So
that's good money. I'm pretty sure they took him in the beginning. Yeah. Everybody probably figured he was going to be the star. Because they were decisive. They
got LaShawn McCoy there. They got him. They got, Barber. And they got this other kid.
Yeah.
So they got a rotation. But Leonard is looking like, listen,
Got you. Yeah, give me the majority of the carries. I'm ready for it. Yeah, man. But yeah, you got the running back from Carolina, hurt too.
McCaffrey's hurt.
McCaffrey's hurt.
Who do they have back in the month over there?
Oh man, I have to look that one up. But he did pretty good. Whoever the backup is, he had a good amount of yards himself.
When did he get hurt? Like what quarter?
I want to say he got hurt in the first half. I wouldn't say which quarter because I wouldn't know that, but I know he definitely got injured in the first half for sure.
That's what's up. Well, yesterday we watched the Lakers go up 2-0.
Yes, that was an exciting game, though.
What do you think about LeBron being the number 2 on that team? And letting Anthony Davis be the number 1.
I'm okay with him taking the back seat for the number 2. If you follow his career, or at least during his championships runs, he's definitely had a strong impact as far as all-around stats. But when it came down to actually game-closing shots to seal a deal, he's usually a facilitator for that matter, creating and then, dishing out to the open man, to get a shot. I think Anthony Davis really stepped up big. If you watch the game, it really was a great and close game on both ends between Denver and the Lakers. If you just watch the ending closing highlights, it didn't do you no justice. You really missed out on some phenomenal game plays.
I think it's important, especially for a championship winning team, to have the best offensive player as its leader. Because there's no question where the ball's going in crunch time. Anthony Davis is a better shooter than LeBron.
Yes.
LeBron is a much better facilitator, and he's great at an open, on the open floor. But I think when it comes down to it, feeding going through Anthony Davis, whether he's posting you up or takes a big man outside and tries to shoot
off a step back,
or try to get around him. I think definitely Davis should be the focal point.
Yes,
and right now I just don't I don't want to say it, but they look hard to beat.
Yeah, they do. But if anybody, I think right now has a chance, is going to be Denver.
Yeah, but they're already down 2-0. I mean, how many times they gotta do this pony trick, being down 3-1 and coming back to win?
To me, it's their forte. When their backs against the wall, that's when they play the hardest. And for the most part, like I said, if you watch the game, you knew it was close. Like,
I'm gonna be honest, I fell asleep. The football, I took a couple of these gummies, and I knocked out a little early. So I didn't watch. You keep saying like if you watch the game, like you even know I didn't watch the game. Like, I didn't know, but I didn't watch the game. I saw it on Sports Center.
To the last couple stretches from like the last 3 minutes is a hell of a game. Back and forth with the points, Jokic, Murray, you had AD, you had Kyle,
Yeah, when I went to bed, Denver was down double digits.
Yeah,
so I was like, oh man, this ain't even, already. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it's over.
So it was good to see they actually came back and they were actually leading in the last second.
They definitely made it a game. They came back and took the lead twice within the last minute.
To me, they have the most balanced team. They have the most amount of players, so they can match up. And I just want to see them. I want to see Porter. I want to see them start Porter and try to get him going early. I think if you get Porter to have a game where he scores 25 to 30, they win.
I feel like if you give him more opportunity, yes and no. Only being at the starting lineup experience on the Lakers side, would probably force him to make more bad decisions or turnovers. You got to think too, if they really want to, they're probably going to put LeBron in at that point.
Well, they say he's a terrible defender. That's why.
Yes, he definitely is a horrible defender. Scoring-wise, he's excellent. He has potential to be one of the great or good scorers.
I just feel like they need that intermediate. They need that wing player, that great wing player. Like they needed that mellow, that guy in the corner when the play was breaking down. You pass it out there, boom, he's knocking down the shot.
Yeah, I just feel like it either causes defensive liability, and you probably have to play zone then, or to hide them, or you have to allow a mismatch. And what mismatch are you going to actually allow? And it's a point in time where if you have the right components on the floor for the Lakers, it's going to be a mismatch. Kyle Poker hit the three. You have Rondo, that's a great facilitator as well. That could penetrate somebody like the Dwight Howard or LeBron James coming to the basket, or somebody comes off their man to help guard Rondo. That's a problem, that's a lob right there for them, or whatever the case may be. But AD is just showing you he has the inside and outside game. So it kind of leaves a problem for them. Definitely leaves a problem for them. But like you said, they're hot, man. They're hot. They're dangerous.
Yeah, I think once Rondo came in,
it gave him a whole nother element.
I don't think they've really lost another game since.
No.
If they've lost a game.
No, not at all.
He's been that perfect person. And then when you got Rondo making shots, forget about it.
Yeah, it's over now. Yeah, he's usually, rebound.
Exactly. Can't have him out there making jump shots.
Some good defense, some good on-ball defense.
That's
making jump shots is dangerous.
That's not a good situation.
Yeah, not at all.
What do you think about the East? Miami, Boston.
The East is now a new awakening that you have with the same reason for Gordon Hayward coming back for those guys. It gave him a new element. In the first two games, Miami was definitely dominant. Really felt like they didn't have a pure shooter to help close out games or hit those big shots other than Tatum. And with Tatum's ability to, shoot outside, drive to the basket, it gave them a good element, but nobody else on the wing to, if they did help Devin Brown and Tatum, there's no threat. They didn't really have to pay attention to anybody.
Jaylen Brown, you don't think he's a bigger
I feel like he's a good
slasher
for sure. The outside shooter, creator like that, open court or slasher, he's good. He's good money for them. But as far as shooting consistently, no.
So who do you like in that series? You like the Heat or you like?
I want to be honest. I still like the Heat, but they're gonna definitely have to make some type of adjustment to Boston's style of play now. Because what I did notice in Game 3 was that Boston did go small. Boston was small against them, playing Tatum at the 5, Gordon Hayward at the 4. They played Brown at the 3, Smart at the 2, and then Walker at the 1. They made a great adjustments on the fly there, and it's not like Bam is that much taller than the rest of those guys to create that much of a height difference. So they can get out on the outlet passes and the breaks pretty fast against those guys. They were running a lot more in transition.
What is the actual? I like this kid Hero. I think he's a difference maker. I think at this point you should start sitting Duncan Robinson down. Hero start. I think Hero. Robinson. He reminds me of what's the name of that guy the Knicks had, the spot up shooter. Novacek. Yeah, Novacek. Right, like he's not, but Hero plays a complete basketball game. Yeah, see him rebounding, the assist, the speed, and then he can shoot on the fly.
Yes, his defense may be a little bit work on that, but within that system, it does work for the most part.
I think offensively, he's their best player.
No, offensively, yes, definitely.
He has the highest ceiling, as they say. I think offensively, when they let him loose, and then they could have Robinson in the game as a spot-up guy. Yeah, but I think they should definitely switch the roles. Let Hero be the starter, and let this. In the playoffs, man, like you got to put your best players on the court all the time. You can't.
I feel like if you start him and then you put Robinson in, it gives you this ability or lack of bench presence at the end of the day. What's up, Captain B? So I think with moving Robinson to the bench and putting Hero in the front, it's a good start. But when that bench sub comes in, it's a whole different dynamic. Now you have to, figure out a scheme to score for off the bench. I think with him coming in the early rotation off the bench and then closing late is perfect for him, honestly. I don't think we should change that one.
Okay, let us know when you're ready. You're all mic'd up. The mic should be set. We're sitting here talking about the Lakers. We did the Lakers. Now we're sitting here. Slide over a little bit. Yeah, there you go. Now we're talking about the Miami Heat against Boston. About who do you like in that series?
I think the series honestly should be 3-0 Boston. I think Boston is clearly the better team. Once Boston figured out who the man was on the team.
And who's the man?
Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum? Okay.
Marcus Smart is playing hell fine basketball, but it's not the man.
But don't you think Tatum has kind of slowed down a little bit from the last series, from the Toronto series? That Tatum is not the same Tatum I'm seeing in Miami. I think Miami's doing something different. It's not as easy for him.
Miami has 30, 40, though. Shorter guards. Toronto has shorter players. Miami's backcourt is what, 6'5" and up?
Yeah, pretty much.
Taller players.
So it's making it a little bit harder for them.
Defense.
But still,
you also got three great defenders over there in Miami. You got Iguodala, you got Crowder, Jimmy Butler. It ain't gonna be the same.
So who do you think is the most important second person coming off for the team?
Jalen Brown.
Wow.
See, I think it's Kemba.
No.
I think Kemba has to elevate his scoring.
I feel
that definitely helps, but
I feel talent-wise all around game, it would be Kemba.
So look, the first couple of games, Kemba to me didn't carry his weight.
Yeah, he didn't.
Like Kemba's at least, like he's playing like an average point guard. Like Kemba needs to listen. They traded Kyrie for you. Like you need to raise your game. Let us see the Kemba of Charlotte.
And with those two being the best players for Boston, I still don't feel like they're the most important. Only because I feel like I said from the beginning, before he went in, Hayward changed their game around. It gave them another element or an extra piece to actually be able to do what they do or win the game in the style that they won the last game 3. The first 2 games without him, they struggled. They struggled bad.
No, but you'll see Kemba dance with the ball in the middle of the court for 24 seconds. Listen, Hayward balances the team. You can take the ball and make a play.
Yeah.
So basically, the first time I watched Kemba dribble the ball 20 to 22 seconds of the shot clock and get a shot block, and then it's a shot clock violation or something like that.
Yeah.
Listen, run the offense. You got 5 win players. You should be able to run a play.
So who do you guys like winning that series?
I still take Boston in 7.
I like Miami in 6.
Boston, Miami. I think Boston definitely has the most talent.
Yeah.
But Miami just, they got that grit. They got Jimmy Butler. They're sneaky. Like they're sneaky. But I think Boston by far has the most talent.
You know what Miami does for me? Absolutely nothing in the fights. And I'm dissing them. I love Jimmy Butler. He's one hell of a player. But for me to go home and actually watch them versus the Lakers or something like that would be terrorizing to end the season. If you give me the Celtics or you give me the Lakers, it's history. It's NBA, that'll be.
So you do not want to see the Heat.
No, I don't want to see it
by any means necessary.
I really feel like if you get the history of that right now, I get it, and it'll be probably good for the NBA. But truth be told, I don't feel like Boston can match up with the Lakers because of their bigs at the end of the day.
That's true. Boston does not have
anybody down.
Well, they do have the old Nick and his Cantor.
Can I say something? I know. You have to honestly say you watch the teams play to say that. If you watch the last time Jason Tatum played the Lakers, they don't got nobody to guard them either. When he gave out 40-something to the Lakers, who was holding them?
Didn't they run on them?
They didn't. It was by like 2 though. The game was close.
Okay.
You got Jalen Brown, a dual, like an all-purpose player.
Yeah.
He does everything. I think he needs to shoot more.
As we know in the playoffs, it's a half-court game. I don't see Boston beating the Lakers in a half-court game at all. Like I see if they can get out on transition, get some steals, runs, outrun the Lakers. As far as that,
so you think the Lakers is a better half-court team than Boston?
With AD, yeah, hell yeah.
But what
I don't see nobody stopping Anthony Davis.
But what have you been watching?
What have you been
watching?
I've been watching the same sport you been watching.
So Joker last night went on a 9-0 run, right? It was 11. Yeah, 11-0, right? They were still playing half-court basketball, right? And they weren't scoring. They had Anthony Davis on the court. It took a 3-pointer. The worst player the worst player ever.
The worst player.
No, it was the worst player ever.
The worst player.
You put the homely on him, he runs all the way. I just thought it was terrible.
But true to everything that people were saying, and it's funny, but that's a Mamba play for real. Like, if you think about it, that was in the spirit of Kobe. That's a true Mamba play. And it sounds crazy. I believe in spiritual things. Mamba was in the building, right? And I was never a Kobe fan like that, but I've always respected him, of course. For who he was. I respect this. You know what I mean? But that right there, that was. Let me come and curl off on the side. Just throw me the ball. I'm gonna shoot it right as soon as you get up and shoot it. That's what he did. Made it. Yeah. And that was. It wasn't designed. It wasn't designed.
No, it was a hell of a shot. They wasn't going to throw the ball to LeBron in that situation.
What? let's not get me started on that situation because.
But long story short is, and LeBron is the best basketball player still playing in the playoffs
that need to be made when they need to be made. He doesn't make those shots.
Wait. So you said LeBron is the best player.
Yeah,
so you take
right now he is.
So you take LeBron over AD?
Yes.
Why is that?
Because AD has never won nothing by himself. Okay. He hasn't gotten his team to the finals.
But I don't think they can win without AD.
No, I agree. Now and then is when you got two stars of one team, but LeBron went to the finals early. He might not have won the finals, but you got to give him credit for getting there.
True.
Like, they play the Spurs.
I mean, at some point, the championship argument kind of has to go out the window. But at 45, LeBron is still going to be the greatest? No, he's 45 now. So they're getting older, they're aging. But at some point, like, to me, I don't think LeBron makes that shot last night. That's a shot.
Nobody thinks they weren't going to throw the ball in that type of time. They might have fouled him. He might have to go to the line. He does.
And I don't think LeBron can get you 7 in a row in a half-court set. I think his whole game right now is rebound, flying down the court faster than anybody, and dunking on you. And using the Super Bowl.
But I think LeBron knows that AD is the better shot maker and closer. So, but LeBron James is not a dummy. Like, he knows, he knows AD gets better shots.
Okay.
So, I still don't think AD is the better player right now, though. But I think he knows that AD gets better shots, and he might be a better closer.
I mean, he can create better shots for himself opposed to
LeBron. There's no answer for him.
I feel like LeBron don't have too many moves to get himself open shots or open looks like that.
You don't need moves when you got.
I was gonna say
you don't need moves when you got bully ball. So.
Yeah, LeBron doesn't need moves. He's one of those players that just don't need moves.
So, hey, we were talking about the Jets a little bit earlier, so we decided to table that till you got here.
I appreciate that.
So we just need to know what's going on in that country.
And you know what's funny? I was watching this game yesterday during the day, and my daughter's looking at me because I'm going crazy, screaming at the screen, I'm going nuts in the house. It's because and I realized it maybe halfway into the game, 3/4 into the game, they have no leader. Jamal Adams is gone. Who in that locker room stands up and says, "Guys, we got to get it together. You got to do this. You got to." You play this part, and everybody's going to listen and respect it and not just look at it as, oh, he's trying to talk down to me or he's not watching this play. They don't have that anymore. Once Jamal Adams is gone.
Was Jamal Adams in every play on Seattle last night? Did it seem like?
But if you look at that game, what did Carroll do? Carroll now says, yo, especially with the Patriots, said they see Jamal Adams, they know his moves. So what do I got to do? I'm using him as a utility player on defense. I'm putting him everywhere. He's rushing the passer. He's playing in zone. He's going to cover, the running back out the backfield all man. Like, he was doing everything.
So what's the future for the Jets? Are you looking to draft the Clemson quarterback? I mean, are you done with Donald?
I'm not a Darnold fan. I'm not yet. I want to be though, because you see glimpses of where he could be great. Like he made a throw yesterday that it was amazing. He was on the run. It was somebody was bearing down on him, and he made this clean, crisp throw, and it was amazing. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, there you go. That's what you see.
So what do you see? What do you see?
You can tell he has the arm. He has the ability. But what I don't see is the leadership. I don't see that. And you need that. You need the players to say, I trust this guy. He's going to get us to where we need to go. I don't see the locker room doesn't have his back. So I really think that's what we need. Or we have to have Gates, or obviously is going to be the next head coach. And that's another thing. He's seen already 2 head coaches. Going to see a 3rd head coach.
Hey, what do you think?
I think it's a sad time if you're a New York fan. Both football teams suck. They suck. When they ask you, are you from New York, you might as well just say Brooklyn, right? You might as well just rock.
Nah, that's it.
You got it.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying Brooklyn. I'm not really.
Man, who the hell cares about that? I'll take Brooklyn.
To be honest, right?
I'll take Brooklyn.
I'll take Brooklyn.
Women's soccer league over all of it.
Like, yo, it's just bad though. Like, to beat both of those games at 1 o'clock, it makes you just want to do something else. Like,
And come back at 12.
yeah, like,
Yo, honestly, that's the truth. I was watching the games going back and forth.
yeah, I tried to watch it. I couldn't though. I couldn't.
It's terrible.
All right.
I mean, terrible.
Just can I say something?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Since we on football, but I know we're not talking about this. Bro, watching Dallas yesterday and the way they came back, and then I watched either the post game or something later that Michael Irvin was on, and he, just for his reaction,
To that
it made
winner.
me sensitive because of Brother John. Like, I could see Brother John basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? At that game going crazy on that. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And in my house, I got a tear in my eye because I could feel the spirit. You feel me what I'm saying?
You know, when they were losing, it's funny. I was talking about the same.
I'm sorry, Rick. I just
No, listen, bro. It's real life, man. This is what we know. This is what we always did on Sundays. You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to my brother Sam about it. I said, wow. I said, damn, it's a shame that the Cowboys are losing like this. I was like, Brother Joe, I was like, at this point, he was like, you throw his hat on, like, I'll go home, man. I see y'all, like they were losing so bad. And then I look up, and they're coming. So in that same moment, I'm like, he would be going absolutely crazy right now. When they kicked that field goal, it was shut the bar down. It's over. Everybody else go home, so that was definitely a memorable
You
moment.
see them winning this year. They definitely got a good shot. The NFC East is not really that dangerous this year at all.
I'm telling you, not that I wasn't a fan, but yesterday, seeing Russell Wilson run for you,
Russell Wilson, that deep ball he throws.
do you see some of those deep balls he throws? Yo, he hit Tyler Lockett with one of these balls, brother.
Did you see the one that he hit Brown with?
Yes.
Falling back into the end zone, 50 yards down. And you know what kills me is he throws it with such confidence. These are not bailout throws. This is like, I intend to throw this exactly where it's going.
And respect to the older quarterbacks in the league that they talk about with the accuracy. Long ball wise, Russell Wilson has to have the best accuracy.
No, he is. Didn't they ask Belichick who he thought the best player?
He's underrated. That's what I heard.
Yeah, he said.
I don't think he's great.
He said he's underrated in the league.
But that's true though. That's honestly.
You know what's crazy? The last 2 years, maybe, he hasn't been not one vote
For MVP?
for MVP.
Last year they said he was the front runner for half the season until Lamar went on that.
He didn't get
Lamar went on another. Everybody's always in love with the new chick, so that's what we're just like Giannis winning, Lamar's gonna probably win again.
Since he got in the league, he's been doing consistently every year.
And that fight between Gilmore and Lockett, not Lockett, it was the other Metcalf.
Right?
That was crazy. And then Metcalf caught that touchdown on him. That's like, this is why we watch this game. This is like,
Gilmore was the player of the year.
Now they went at it last night.
They went at it on the bench.
He's a beast though.
He's huge and he's fast.
And on a personal note, it's hard for me because, I don't want to. I'm a Jets fan. I don't want to root for the Patriots, but now that Tom's going and Cam's there, I see myself wanting to. Come on, Cam. I need you to.
I'm still into the Patriots because I feel like they shitted on them. Everybody knows I'm a Tom guy. But
they shitted on who?
They act like Cam can't play though.
The Patriots or the world?
No, the world.
The
one to the Wolves. He's better than I can name 10 quarterbacks all the time in my head. He's clearly better than.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, can I tell you that it hurts my soul to say in the back of my mind I was like, yeah, come on, Patriots, just because it can, right?
And listen, Cam is playing well. Yeah, he definitely.
You threw some balls to Edelman yesterday. I was like, look,
Edelman had the most yardage ever in his career.
Most catches, everything. Come on. At the end of the day, I definitely got mixed emotions. I don't know what is coming over me, but it's like without Tom Brady and Bill Belichick together, I kind of like both of them better now. As long as they're not together, because it doesn't feel as much overwhelming.
I know. I'm good to have both of those guys on one team.
It's more level playing field, so I can appreciate both of them.
but I think without Tom, Bill enjoys coaching more.
And that's the other thing. I think he's good. I think this kid brings out the creative side in Belichick. He's like, you know what? I could try things that I couldn't do. I think even in losing that game, he's not calling a quarterback sneak to try to win the goddamn game with Tom Brady back there. So that could have been to his demise. You know what I'm saying? He probably should have did more of a bootleg or option.
Let's call it for what it is. To me, that was the right play. You know, again, I respect Bill for what he is and what he does. Like, that was the right play because that was not stopped. He did it 3 times.
I think he should have went outside.
That's me too.
I think it just went outside.
Look, if you want to try to,
Schmidt was not stopped 3 times.
Yeah, but
he went to the short
I
side.
think he should have just went outside.
If you are
outside, right there to walk around.
I'm not saying.
if you see how they play Kyler Murray, if you see how they easy.
Kyler Murray is looking good out.
Easy. Like
Let's be realistic.
yo, he had a 20-yard touchdown. Let's call it the way it really is. Listen, Washington got a defense. They got a front seven.
They got a defense on Philly, man. We got to see convergence.
Washington got a
Defense was hitting people. You got the jet in the first.
My team was like shit right now, so we don't have a main wide receiver.
I felt like texting you yesterday because I was like, wow,
Y'all got 2 tight ends. What happened? The 2 tight ends we had was
No, they didn't work week 1.
it
Work the first half of week 1. They're 17. They haven't played since the first half of week 1. That's the problem.
It seems like the organization is trying to set on 2 tight ends for now, but they're at both heads with Hurts because of the contract that they're trying to get done, and he wants to be signed long term and get the bag, but they're not really trying to pay him the bag right now. They're trying to
because he can't carry the team. They never seen him carry the team.
I feel like
I thought Ertz was a premier.
He is. Don't do that.
No, listen, he is, man. I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying what I thought was a premier tight end was Ertz. I thought that. I'm not doubting that he's not a great tight end. He's not Kelsey.
I feel like they need to open
You
up
can't swipe that kid. What you do, you couldn't stop Gronkowski and say
but you can't control it.
You gotta
be stopped.
I don't prepare those guys. You don't won a Super Bowl being the best offensive player. That guy, Kelsey, has never won a Super Bowl being the best player. He's not the best player. He has a shitload of people around him.
Yes,
He's more talented.
He's a very hard cover. The linebackers can't cover because of the speed, and the safeties can't cover because of the size.
He's got a Super Bowl, man. He's got a Super Bowl. Like, when you think about
I'm not talking about this. Let's remember, I'm not talking about team ball. I'm saying when you think about it,
it's a difference when you doesn't support to the stadium.
I'll listen to you. When you scout Philly, right, and you were defensive coordinator, who are you trying to take away? If you had the
player, Deshaun Jackson.
Why?
Because he's a speed guy.
He's done nothing.
Why has he done nothing? Let's be real.
He real. He sucks.
No, he's not that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not.
coaching, and then you got the coaching, and it's because that's
I want to say
Carson Wentz is not as good as advertised.
No.
Carson Wentz is not as good as advertised.
It is. It's the place. To me, it's the coaching phase. But you got to know your personnel and then use it to your ability.
True. I get it. I'm not saying his physical ability is not what it is.
This is the world.
It's his quarterback and ability as far as leadership.
They was in the Super Bowl and they won. He got one, who knows how much money because he's a fan. But now it's the play call and now the coach can't coach.
No. It's not that the coach can't coach. It's knowing your personnel in the right way.
At the
end of the day, for me, you have
the Jets are one team in
wide receiver. You only have Deshaun Jackson.
It has to do with
you only have Deshaun Jackson as a wide receiver. Everybody else is tight end.
Terrible.
A little bit of rough.
Nobody.
Who do they line up on the field?
I can't explain, bro. Because Jeffries is hurt, bro. And they're trying to clear him.
Who's the other kid? So it's Aguilar. Where's Aguilar?
He's gone. He's gone.
But no, they drafted him. I don't remember his name, but they drafted a receiver like the second and third round. He caught a long ball week one. Listen, the guy, the quarterback is throwing interceptions at bad time.
I think,
but that's what I'm trying to tell you. He's not as good as advertised.
I think NFC teams need to play NFC teams to kind of calibrate themselves. I think they get up for that NFC game and figure out how really good their team is.
Because let's be,
it's like the Phillies need the Giants to come to town.
There's not a lot of competition in the NFC East.
The last 5 years, the team that goes 8-8 or 9-7
wins the division.
So this year, whoever gets the 9 win first is going to win the division because it's going to be 9-8. It's an extra game. What's 9-8?
Let's be realistic. What's the toughest division?
Not the NFC East.
I would say,
not the
NFC East and AFC East.
I would say the AFC West.
I would say the NFC West.
No, I would say the NFC West.
I say the NFC
Seattle, San Francisco, Arizona.
That's a tough division. If the Eagles play in that division, they will come in last.
Religiously.
Washington play in that division, they will come in religiously.
I think this year definitely the Giants are coming in last, and I think Washington is going to be better than Philly. I think they're grooming Haskins slowly. I think they'll have more wins than Philly.
I still feel like if we can pick it up by week 5, we'll be alright. I don't see.
I would never count Philly out for one reason. The big dogs that supposedly be in the division is Dallas, and they don't never take over. When you think Dallas is going to win, they lose. That's why I would say the Philly's going to always have a shot in the division, but Dallas don't win every game that they're supposed to win.
Yeah.
They leave it up for grabs like last year, but he came back and took them.
But you know,
17, 16.
You know what the difference is this year? The difference is this year is Dak is playing for his money. It's going to be different. Did you see Dak last night? How did they come back? Dak took that game. He said, "This is my
Michael
game."
Gallup too. That catch was everything.
But what I'm saying to you is, who throws that ball to him? What I'm saying to you is, Dak took.
You got guys
I'm going to throw over 400 yards.
Guys on that contract, you ain't dangerous.
I'm going to do what I have to do.
Definitely
Yes, they called Atlanta and they paid to get the one side. It is no way you got the ball bounce like that.
It was ridiculous.
Let's not give Dallas so much credit, all right? They still had to get a one side. The team watching the ball.
They literally watching the ball. They could.
Offensively, you can before 10 yards. The defense has to escape the yard.
They weren't coached right. They should know better.
But no, but my thing is, it's crazy as it sounds. Coach, right? You can't even blame the coach because in the NFL at that level, you already think people are that smart that they have that capacity to know the rules and be like, I need to jump on this ball. Why would you wait until the 99th hour?
It was way too late.
It's like,
it's 10 yards. Let's hold down.
Like, y'all got to be
like, they forgot they were offense.
I would prefer a player miss the ball, bobble it or something to not touch it and just watch the ball go while you're spinning 1 yard.
Salute to my boy, Brother Johnson.
Your spiritual angle, right? That was the spiritual angle. What do y'all think about all these injuries in the league? think that not having a preseason has any role to play.
No,
I do, and I'm not saying
I don't think it's the preseason. I think it's actually the camp.
But that's what I'm saying.
Not only having the camp,
no preseason. The strengthening and conditioning isn't the same. People were like they basically had to strengthen and condition themselves and not get with the actual trainers and the strength and conditioning coaches. And
now, as far as the actual preseason, they've been lobbying to try to get rid of the preseason from the beginning because a lot of people wind up getting injured during the preseason. So now with this, but at the end of the day, like you said, the conditioning, the spring camp, the training, the getting ready, the body ready, it was hard.
Camps where it wasn't, and I was out with the code, but the camps where you can come in monetarily, it's not, mandatory, and they missed those because, when it was time, it was the height of the pandemic.
I think it has a little bit to do with it. I mean, just seeing the way these guys, MCLs and all these things are just MCL. I mean, for this to be the first season where we didn't have. No, did you see the 49ers actually wrote a grievance to the Giants yesterday? That field, like they had like 4 or 5 players,
and they say that. And it's funny when I was on my way here, I was listening to the radio. They had Sam Darnold, and they asked him the same question. They asked him, what do you think about the turf? You think it's legit? What they're saying about the turf? And he hemmed it hard, like, I don't know. You gotta ask. I don't really do any cutting. I don't care if you cutting or not. You know if that turf is trash.
It's trash or not. Like, you don't want to say nothing.
Yeah, this ain't the first time. This ain't the first time that somebody has ever said that like turf is trash.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about tonight's game?
Are we talking like the Celtics, or are you talking about the football?
No basketball tonight. So we got the Raiders.
You talking about the Raiders game?
Raiders and New Orleans.
I'm taking New Orleans, but I think it should be a high-scoring game.
The star of that game is going to be the Raiders.
Yeah.
They gave it. I was watching it yesterday, and they gave a little tour of the arena.
Are they going to have fans tonight?
I don't know.
How do you guys think that's working out? Some teams have fans, some teams don't. Dallas had like 20,000 people in there yesterday.
I think that's a wild card because advantage and disadvantage for some. Because
if you have Philly tickets right now, would you be at a game on Sunday? I handed you two box tickets to the game.
I'm not gonna 2 box tickets.
Yeah.
Oh, you're box? Yeah, I'm in there. So you talking about being down at the 50-yard line? No. Oh, yeah. Okay. You talking about some nice fans?
Yeah. I celebrate the fans.
I honestly think you gotta try it. Like you gotta try it to see.
If they're giving us our space, I'm fine.
I'm gonna be honest with you, and I think this is from what I've seen so far. I think this is how the league has seen it. Open airfields. You got the wind blowing and you're not just dealing with circulation.
That's a good angle.
I think you should try it in open airfields. Definitely.
That's a good angle.
Let's do it. The wind is blowing.
And the more weeks we go with these teams allowing a few players, and no one's coming back with like horrible news.
It's not like baseball.
The players are not getting COVID, and the fans are not getting. These guys are losing a lot of revenue, and then also the concession stands, all those workers, out of work. So at some point, I think they should, really week by week just continue to monitor and see, when they could.
You can't get crazy, obviously, because at a football game, but people using the bathroom, like the bathroom is packed, like you can't.
Yeah, exactly. But they have they have the money. I think they have the money to make it work. They can screen people.
If in New York City you can do 20%, 30% in a closed restaurant and everybody's feeling comfortable, I think in an open air stadium you can do easily 20, 30% easily capacity.
But I'm just saying, even just from screening.
50,000 fan stadium, 20, 30%. It's a good amount of people that, like you said, they can bring back some of the workers. The workers can make some money, and people can start getting back to the normality of the situation.
Because we're talking about a recession here, and it affects everybody. It affects everybody. So I think You know, the quicker we can get back to normal, the quicker we try to save this economy. But at the same time, you know, we have to be cautious. You know, they're talking about a new spike in Europe right now with the whole COVID thing. Is it going to come here? What are we doing about the fact that it's Europe? Are we screening those passenger flights coming in from Europe? Make sure, you know, nobody's bringing this new strain or whatever it is, you know, out here. Because
in general, you know, just that football is back. It brings people back. You know?
Yeah, but you know, it brings people back, but you know, sports is the great distractor.
Yes, that's it.
If there's a time to see some foolishness, man, is while we're all watching this damn game.
But it's what I'm trying to tell you, like, we still need that distraction, especially if, God forbid, this whole second wave that actually comes into play and it's as deep as they're saying it. We needed that distraction because if we have to go back to the two, you know,
they're gonna stop it. If we get a second wave, they're gonna stop it. They're gonna shut it down.
What I'm saying,
there ain't no bubble in football.
Right, but imagine if we didn't get any type of sports at all, and we had to go
man.
That's what I'm saying.
People are already going crazy.
We're back to protesting, bro.
That's what I'm saying. So that's
like society. You know, these things have been integrated into society, and we've been conditioned, and to the point that we actually need it for us to have balance. You know, people that don't have these things in their lives, they're like, what am I gonna do? You know, you think yourself today. You scared. You're just so scared. You can't go outside. You're scared to go to the grocery store. You know, so we definitely need sports in our lives to help just take
the 20%, 30% capacity. I think it should be okay.
Well, New York's ban. Do you think New York is going to open it back up? New York said no fans this year.
And
New York, the stadiums, the Jets and Giants, no fans.
I'll be honest with you, I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with it, but
Not to be funny, if you're a New York Giant or Jets fan, you shouldn't want to go to the game. Let's just be real.
You should have listened to watch
You like this old white dog down like no Barkley,
What if you're afraid of the traveling team, though?
I know that is watching.
a good friend of mine, he's a serious 49ers fan, and he had fans because the 49ers have never came to MetLife Stadium. They finally came to MetLife Stadium. He had tickets to the game yesterday, and he lost them obviously because he was sick. Like he was sick. Shout out Joe. Like, I'm trying to tell you, like he was sick. He had tickets and he couldn't get to the games. And he had tickets for him and his nephew. Like, oh, that sucks. That sucks. And he's a big, when I say he's a big time 49ers fan. Shout out Rod. You know Rod at 49ers.
Yeah.
He loves the 49ers.
Now, what do you think with all the injuries with the 49ers? Well, how do you look at their season? I mean, are we talking a successful season? Are they going to tank? Their quarterback looked absolutely terrible. Without Garoppolo, they can't.
He looked like they said he had a high ankle sprain or something.
No, I'm saying without Garoppolo, they can't win with that guy.
I feel like right now, it's a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
I feel like it's still like 4 weeks, still too early to determine
So
so much injuries going on.
I read something that says that he might be optimistic you won't miss that much time though.
But 3-4 weeks is all you need to be.
No, not this year. It's an extra playoff team. And like, listen, you got to think about the teams that's really terrible. Think about it.
Yeah,
like,
even with
Giants,
Garoppolo,
like Washington. I can name a couple of teams that don't got a shot.
they still have no wide receiver on that team. They got Kendrick Bourne. He was their 4th wide receiver last year. He's their starting number 1. They got no wide receivers this year.
When did they throw the ball to the wide receivers?
They missing how many linebackers? 2?
Like, when did they throw the ball?
They had Emmanuel Sanders.
When did they throw the ball last year?
They had that big kid. What's his name?
Who they beat by just running the ball? The guy threw 6 passes.
Yeah, but they have very good receivers. They had
the field yesterday. They're running back. I'm trying to tell you, they all around.
Yeah, Monster is a beast. I had him and they got into it.
You saw that?
They had 2 long touchdowns. They called one back.
He went from Washington today.
They lose the tight end. They lose Little.
Little is out. He's out for now. That's what I said. They got a lot of injuries.
Oh, he's out for
They got a lot of injuries. Yeah. They would have to go like a 9-1 or 8-0. You know, for Washington.
This is his first game in how
they're 1-1 right now.
He's still good talent out there.
Yeah, they keep
I'm
it
gonna
set.
Seattle's division now.
I think they play the Giants this week, I think.
I'm not saying they can't win. I'm saying it's going to be difficult.
Nah, they don't beat the Giants with their back.
I feel like right now,
They beat the Giants with the backup quarterback. I'm gonna tell you why.
Let's see. Hold on. Let's see if they play the Giants.
if you are not the Jets, you still got a shot to be in the playoffs. No offense, man.
I'm not offended because really, in my opinion, I feel the same way about the Giants and the Eagles.
I just feel like the Jets don't
You don't want to call your team out, but brothers in green and brothers 0-2.
I feel like with Philly being 0-2 start, that doesn't mean we're out of the playoffs because with the track record of the NFC East, anything can happen, anything can go. These teams do not hold on to the long lead.
Can I ask a question?
In the city.
You know what the difference is?
They're going to be great now, then in November, they're going to lose.
This time, I'm going to tell you the difference. The Jets' schedule isn't that hard this year.
Yeah.
The Eagles' schedule is way harder than the Jets.
I'm just looking at the competition in their division. As far as the Bills, you got the Bills, you got the Patriots.
They're way better. The Eagles are just
Right now, the brothers in 0-2 losses.
Honestly, I feel like your division is a harder division to excel.
Yeah, you got Buffalo
and New England.
I thought you were saying the NFC East was harder. No, the NFC East is a better division because
That's
of
what I'm
the
saying.
teams.
But even you got a competition in the East and the Buffalo not that hard.
They played Buffalo tough yesterday.
Miami is not the Miami that we knew from last year.
They're not a picture.
Listen, Miami played Buffalo too. If I was a betting man and I could bet on that, I'd have won because I'd have took the Bills to dust them off.
You know, let's not just gotta mention it. Rosen, he looked tough.
Yeah. So at the end
Rosen is where?
And damn, I'm stuck now.
You said Rosen looked tough.
What do you mean, what Rosen?
That's what I said.
I'm talking about Allen. I'm sorry.
Allen, Josh Allen, Buffalo. Well, I mean, you know what he's gonna give you every year.
No, you're playing excellent football this year.
Buffalo is here to stay. They're here to stay, and that kid's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
He's only gonna,
and the defense is always there.
and they're gonna get better. The defense, Buffalo's always had good defense, and it's gonna get better.
And that's why I'm saying, like, the AFC, yes, the Jets stink, but they play in a division that's not a bunch of pushover teams.
Now, Jets are done. That's why it's gonna be between New England and Buffalo.
Yeah, New England and Buffalo.
That's
what it's gonna come down to.
They're gonna fight it out.
Buffalo,
Miami, they scrappers, but they need to just go start too low.
Even with the NFC East, the way you look at it right now, there's nobody 2-0 in the NFC East. If nobody,
do we even have a win? Do that? No,
everybody's going.
Washington got 1-2. They beat
0-2, yeah, 1-2. In the East, you have what? Buffalo at 2-0, and you have Patriots at 1-1, and then the Giants 2-2.
Not for nothing, Kansas City doesn't look as good as they should. They're not
Kansas City is
playing.
injured.
But listen,
Kansas City was hurt.
I could have said,
they just squeaked that win out yesterday. They didn't look good.
What a rookie. First game ever.
I'm saying to you, it was hurt. I think they had a
nobody's hurt.
How did they win that game?
Tyreek Hill was there. He scored a touchdown. Kelsey was there.
But again,
Watkins was there. They got their win.
We want them to win. Just like that, Mahomes did his thing. This is what I'm saying. This is why, at the end of the day, the quarterback situation, the quarterback position is so vital.
I'm trying to give it back all those credits. They kicked the onside kick and they watched the ball for 10 seconds.
No, they don't have that chance to recover that onside kick if they don't come back from 17 down.
But how about you don't be losing by that much in the first place? You still getting the ball.
And
so you got to be down 20 to start playing?
Who you got to hold down accountable for that too is the defense. Stop it. The defense wasn't playing. You can't say that was only offensive problem. That's an offensive and a defensive issue, brother.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And Dak, what did he do? Dak was playing. Bro, he scored 4 or 5 touchdowns. I can't remember the exact number.
To score 40 points, you're gonna have 4 or 5 touchdowns. But I'm just maybe I'm a little more upset about the onside kick, and I'm not giving him this.
You're not giving him his due. And he threw damn near 500 yards. He threw 400.
When you're down 20 points in the first quarter, you got to start throwing the ball.
And
you don't have time to
but stop acting like
stop
acting like he was 2 for 500, man.
Who are we talking about?
Dak, his percentage wasn't that bad. Obviously, I can't quote it. Dak helps them win that game, just like Mahomes helped Kansas City squeak out that game.
Listen, what he said is they don't look good, and I agree with him. And they look good. They won by 3.
I didn't say they look good. I'm saying that any team that
you want to give these guys credit, they didn't look good. They won by 3. Rookie quarterback, they didn't look great. You want to just give them credit because it's Mahomes. You don't
Mahomes give him credit because it's hard to play quarterback in this league, and it is a fact.
I just think as a betting man, they're really costing me some money because they're putting a lot. They're leaving a lot of points on the table. And I score. Mahomes costs a lot of money in DraftKings. I need 4 or 5 touchdowns a week. We're not getting it. The running back.
That guy. Again, do you think that goes back to preseason?
I just want a Super Bowl where good enough we can just show up and beat you mentality is
But if you think about it, who gives them that mentality though? Society, the football watching public is the one that says these guys are amazing. Because even after game one, first week, they didn't look great to me. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Everybody's like, wow, it was amazing. They played, they're unstoppable. To me, that's nonsense. No. They didn't look that great in week 1. Yes, they won. And he won, when
2 weeks in, what do you think who looks the best? What's the best team?
I'm telling you, Seattle.
Seattle
looks good. I think a sleeper team is Arizona because I think Hopkins gives them a go-to guy. And he's gonna catch the ball. He might be.
Arizona doesn't have a defense.
I really feel like that question for me will be answered tonight with the Raiders and New Orleans because they both looked good last week. The Raiders didn't have too hard of a match, being that the defense that they faced wasn't crazy. Tonight will really be their stand because New Orleans doesn't allow a lot of passing yards. So we'll see where they stand. Mike Thomas is not playing. That's why. So that's to me that still indicates without Thomas being there, if New Orleans picks up this win convincingly, they have a strong team. To me,
nobody's doubting that New Orleans has a strong team. I'm just Seattle is amazing.
Listen, New Orleans still has Alvin Kamara. They have their second running back. They got Emmanuel Sanders.
I don't think they should lose the game.
I don't think they got enough weapons.
They got a hell of a tight end
too, though.
Yeah, they got
Pittsburgh looks good.
I like Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh looks good. Pittsburgh looks like they're gonna be there in the AFC Championship game with Ben Roethlisberger.
And
the running back who was shaky, Connor. He looked good yesterday.
Connor was gonna be a beast.
Roethlisberger helps.
He got hurt.
He got hurt in the Giants game.
He was supposed to share the load, and my dumbass led into that. On fantasy, picked up Snell. Nothing. They didn't even give him the damn ball. I'm like, nah, you got to be kidding me. You made me pick up this guy thinking that they was going to share the workload, and he got like 2 carries. I'm like, nah, you got to be kidding me. There's no way. But I don't know. Like at the end of the day, I see Pittsburgh as a contender for the AFC. I like as a sleeper. And not undefeated, but I like the Colts too. I like the Colts over there.
I don't trust their quarterback. He's never won. He's never won.
He throw a lot of lollipops.
He can't throw 10 yards down the field.
He throw a lot of lollipops. I like they be up in the air.
I like the Rams. I think the Rams look better.
Yeah, I think he got his mojo back. Yeah, they got his mojo.
The Rams do look better than
they beat the brakes off the NFC. Both of those turkeys. Dallas and Philly.
Listen. It isn't hard right now. The team hurt, man.
So what do y'all think about Tampa Bay? What do you think about Brady?
I wanted to touch on this before, but I couldn't even get in conversation between y'all. And what I really want to say is this is let's cut to the chase. This is a legacy battle for the two goats. Yeah. Who's better, Bill Belichick or Tom Brady, without either one of each other?
What if they end up in the Super Bowl? Wouldn't that be amazing?
That would be
the highest rated Super Bowl in the history of humanity.
Ever.
It can happen.
Yeah.
But if it came down to, I still think the Patriots will win. Because right now they're displaying better defense than Tampa Bay.
They have overall a better. I mean, Belichick has. Belichick has.
Who's showing a better defensively?
Yeah, I thought who's looking better defensively? You said New England looks better defensively?
Yes.
We just held the same.
Seattle just torched their
Wow.
Listen, but they got pieces, man. Didn't score in both.
Let's be realistic. Let's not act like the Patriots defense is trash, because the Patriots defense was the best defense last year and nothing really changed. Let's not do that.
They lost 9 players.
They did it.
Yes, they lost Collins, the all-pro linebacker. They lost like 6 or 7 players in free agency,
but they didn't
add people opted out.
But what I'm saying to you is,
like they got
you're talking about Tampa Bay holding the Panthers to 17 points without.
They held Michael Thomas to 2 to 3 catches in week 1. When the last time that happened? You tell me.
But what happened to the rest of the team? They still scored. They still got outscored.
The Saints said that was the worst game they played after week 1.
What I'm going to tell you is,
where have you been at?
No, what I'm going to tell you is both defenses are stout defenses. The problem, the thing that I see is, and both coaches are pretty good, but let's be realistic. Belichick is different. He starts watching.
Just on another level.
He starts learning these teams' tendencies. He's going to change it all.
If I had to say,
if Cam is going to throw the ball as good as he did yesterday,
and rush like he did
I'm talking about he can't throw the ball. We know he's going to give you 70 yards running, but if that man is going to throw the ball the way we've been seeing him throw the ball,
I was impressed. Listen, I want to say, listen, I was like, listen, I want to see him succeed because they try to throw him away.
Don't even talking like this about a Patriot.
Like, no. Listen, I want to see him succeed. But I think if they play next week, the Patriots will win.
They would beat Tampa
Bay. If they play next week, I think.
Because let's
be honest, Belichick knows Tennessee.
Yeah, he know what Tom's trying to do at certain times.
He know what his Tom's problem.
Yeah, so I think
he know what Tom's weaknesses.
I think when you give Tom, I think about week 5 though. I think him and Mike Evans looked all right yesterday.
Yeah. Other receiver I felt like that was first.
No. But what you don't realize is Tom is doing what Tom does. He starts to get that nonverbal communication with his receivers, and that's what he got with Mike Evans yesterday. Like they had some things that you be like, oh, and then Tom knows he's supposed to be right here. He's gonna be right here. That's where you at. Because Tom is Tom. He expects you to be where you're supposed to be at. I know where you're supposed to be at. You be there. I'm gonna get you the ball.
Yeah.
And if they're gonna run the ball like they did yesterday, they'll be fine.
And with Tom, you're absolutely right. He's proven over the years he's a timing quarterback. He throws time and his rhythm off with rushes then he's off. But if he gets to sit back there all day, read his paper, sip his coffee,
and you know what? And this is exactly why and I hate to say it again, the Patriots are going to be tough because Cam has never been used to having a line like he has. Yes. He sat in that pocket for hours at top. Like, there was a play where you can actually see him going down his reads. Look to the left, no, nobody there. Look to the middle, nobody there. Oh, there goes number 3. Boom, I'm going to hit him. I'm trying to tell you. Cam and I used
Cam Newton is perfect for the Patriots. Last year they had a problem with people getting open. Now they have more time because he's not easy to bring down and he can move. Yeah. That extra couple seconds is helping the Edelmans, the Harrys, because they couldn't get open last year. That was the knock on them. They had no separation, couldn't get open.
Edelman looked happy yesterday.
No, you seen him. He was like happy. He's like, he got a 30-yard ball.
Happy.
This is the same guy that was thinking jobs.
I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, I love Edelman. He's amazing.
And Campbell definitely could get the ball out there. He definitely has an arm. My early prediction right now, I hate to say it, I see another repeat match, Seattle versus the Patriots right now in the Super Bowl. I think it's early making that call. I hate to say
Seattle
against my
Patriots.
Eagles, but that's my early prediction right now.
So you're definitely Xing out the team that's pretty much still intact.
I don't really see anybody that could beat Seattle.
I honestly would say
in the NFC. I say that in the NFC.
Here's my prediction, right? I can see Kansas City, New England as a conference finals in AFC. But now when you give Bill Belichick a mobile quarterback just like you have on the other side, it's a different dynamic and it opens up his playbook, and now it comes down to coaching. And Andy Reid, I love him to death.
For that to happen, Cam needs an MVP season. And we got to see that happen.
I believe you.
We got to see. We need an MVP season out of Cam.
That's another.
If Cam was having an MVP season, the Patriots are going to pay him.
But my thing is this. What's the knock on Cam? The knock on Cam is he going to remain healthy? What does Bill Belichick do because he had Tom Brady? He creates that best offensive line in football. Well, one of the best offensive lines of football.
Yeah, but they asked Cam to run. He ran 15 times week one.
But no. Don't say he ran because he ran because he had to extend those plays. Let's be real. And he ran because he said, "Oh, this is open and I can do it because I'm Cam."
Yeah.
What I'm saying to you is, when he didn't have to, he did it. He stood in that
pocket.
I
just said 15 times for a quarterback running the ball, though. I get it.
That's a lot of,
But who did they play again? You keep forgetting that they play one of the best defenses in the league. So what happens when you play one of the defenses? I have to extend these plays. I have to go out the pocket because my receivers are not open.
Yes. But that's also why he's a great element.
And even with everybody knowing that Cam is a runner and he can run, they could not stop him because.
But no, that's why I say that's why he helps the Patriots. He gives them a couple more seconds to get open. And if he wants to run, he's gonna run.
No, but think about it. It's the same thing. Now I have to not only cover the run out the backfield, I have to cover the quarterback run. So it makes it hard on any team. Period.
No, but I'm just saying, it made Bill and them want to coach again. They're enjoying coaching.
Of course.
And
that's what makes Arizona so dangerous, because Kyle Murray is everything we're talking about on speed. He's just out of control.
I'm not gonna lie. I so much doubted him when he was coming down. I was like, his size. He's gonna get hurt. I don't know. You know why they got him? He's showing up.
Because he was talented in two sports. You know how hard that is? No. He got paid in baseball. And he was the number one pick. He wasn't Charlie Ford either.
Let's be real. Don't act like a lot of football players aren't basketball players or baseball players. When you're athletically talented, you're athletically talented.
What I'm saying is he was a top draft pick, and he was going. He was at the age of top player. He was great in both sports. Some people can play basketball, but they're not.
It's like Michael Jordan
top 13 in the lottery.
Going to baseball.
They can play so they become a tight end in the NFL. They're better at tight end, but they're not a prospect going to the NBA is what I'm saying. But he was great in both.
I understand that, but let's be realistic. There's a big difference between playing college football and getting to the league and dealing with
the speed of the league.
Play on that level.
Yes.
The separation level is big.
I agree with that. I feel like
let's say he wasn't. I'm just saying. I was like, I don't know.
But he ran like a pro-style offense in college, correct?
I don't know.
He did run a pro-style.
That's what I'm saying. Usually when you do that in college, it helps you. Listen, he's like a 6 or 7 years.
It wasn't that I didn't think his skill-wise he wasn't good enough. I was thinking about his durability. I'm being honest with you.
He's a small guy. He's like 5'10".
That's what I'm saying. He's small.
You know,
he's small.
He's like a running back with the football.
But he's like a special athlete though, and he's accurate though. Like that's like listen.
He's the Doug Flutie of our era.
He's the Muggsy Bogues. Yo, I saw something that said something yesterday that had like Muggsy Bogues in his best year. He had 313 rebounds and 313 rebounds in like his best rebounding year. Some big 7'4" player had like 274. Wow. It was crazy.
All heart.
Boy, it was crazy. Like, so that's what I'm saying for Kyler Murray. Like, it's heart and skill.
Definitely think he'll have a great year, but I don't see them
because it's not like he's just running. No, I see him in the playoffs. He's a smart quarterback. If you had to pick the playoffs right now, Ty, who is your 17?
My 17 is in the playoffs right now. And NFC wise, we're gonna go with definitely Seattle. We already know that's a guarantee. We're gonna go to the
take one out of it because
I'm gonna go to the North. I'm taking 2 out of. Well, I might even take 3 out of the North because I always feel like Minnesota and the Bears are always gonna be in that contention. Green Bay is always gonna be on the top for me. So you definitely got Green Bay in the playoffs. Then you also have to go back to the West. With the West, I feel like you have San Francisco. Even right now, with them being injured, if they can get these players back and keep a 500 record, I feel like they'll still be there. You know, the Rams are going to be there.
And Aaron Rodgers got doubted, and he's balling out.
Yeah, and
I don't know about baller now. Kind of choked it up a little bit yesterday.
Yesterday, they won. They came back.
They scored 42 points. What are we talking about?
Yeah, you know, first half, he was like, 17, 14.
The running back took all the time.
They scored 42.
Yeah, he did take the thunder, but
don't let
they had to pay attention to somebody.
All about fantasy sports, man. When Devontae Adams pisses on himself because Rodgers throw the ball, it hurts people like that.
Yeah, so and then you have New Orleans. New Orleans is always there. So you have New Orleans, you have Seattle, you have Green Bay. Out of the East, I'm still going to count my Eagles, but more so than anybody, I think it's definitely going to be Dallas this year. I do think they possess an element this year, you know, with that, you know, hunting for a new contract, is going to be playing outstanding. Those last 3 positions for the playoffs is a toss-up because you still have Tampa Bay. You have Tampa Bay winning. You have San Fran. You have Chicago. You have Minnesota.
The only thing that questions me about San Fran is the injuries. If they come back from the injuries, they're definitely going to be in.
But even without San Fran, you still have the Rams. The Rams is playing good ball as well.
Good ball.
So to me, I just don't see Arizona fitting in there with that. That's a tough division. Once they start having their conference games, it will put them in a better light. But for right now, I don't see them beating out their conferences.
And that's why if you ask me that same question, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I'm going to tell you strictly just because of this year and how it started. I'm worried about injuries. So injuries cause teams that should normally be in the playoffs not to get where they need to get, especially if it's in key positions. Like, even Seattle, like you said, even Seattle yesterday, they were down to like their 3rd string linebacker. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, bro, it's hard to call when people get hurt. Like, they get 3 ACLs in one day. Yeah, Saquon, Bosa, and who was the 3rd?
Another their quarterback.
Did he tear ACL? No, torn ACL.
Torn ACLs, yeah. I think it was a wide receiver. But let's go to this Thursday's game. Miami at Jacksonville. Who do you guys like?
Yeah, somebody behind you. I think Erica might be pitching.
Miami at Jacksonville?
Yeah, Miami at Jacksonville.
Okay. For me, I'm taking Jacksonville. That's who I like. I like Jacksonville. That quarterback in Jacksonville has been playing pretty good.
Who, Gardner Minshew?
Yeah.
He came out of nowhere.
Nah, not Gardner Minshew. It's Mitchell. It's me? Okay, got you.
That's it.
And he's
came out of nowhere.
He's playing against Fitzmagic.
Yeah, but you know what? The thing, and that's why, in my opinion, Fitzpatrick is the hardest quarterback to pick. Because 1 week he'll throw 4 touchdowns, and then the next week he'll throw 4 interceptions.
Yeah.
So,
or he'll throw both. He'll throw
Trust me, man, I don't want to Jets. And there was times he looked fantastic, and then other times we like, who is he? Who is this guy?
All right, let's go over some of the key games this week. We got Chicago at Atlanta. I think Atlanta bounces back.
No, I think Atlanta's done.
You think Chicago beats Atlanta?
Yeah, I think. Listen, you can't beat Dallas up 14 points with 5 minutes left.
But I'm gonna tell you,
like you should just pack the season in.
Yo, but do you see? There's something going on in Atlanta when the best receiver in the league drops automatic
bomb.
Touchdown. Julio that drop was nuts.
No, I think they win this week. Chicago is suspect. I don't like Chicago. Chicago just don't. If you have an offense and you can score points, you can beat Chicago. We got lost.
He's looking like a quarterback though.
Trubisky?
Yeah. And I'm not saying he is.
They gave
the
Giants every opportunity to come back yesterday. Giants had every opportunity to win the game.
Right, but he still he looked better than
the Giants don't have a defense.
What I'm saying to you is, bro, last year he would have gave the game away to the Giants with no defense.
Well, we'll see.
I'm just saying.
Right. We'll see.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's a good quarterback. I'm not saying all of a sudden
I believe he's got a better this year, though.
I'm just saying he looks better because what happened is they drafted that, or they put Nick Foles in. They put Nick Foles in there, and he had to sit back and say, "Oh man, they brought Nick Foles over here. What am I doing?"
He didn't look impressive to me.
I didn't say impressive. I said better than last year.
You got Rams at Buffalo. That's a good game. I think Rams. Buffalo.
You're gonna take the Rams?
Yeah. At Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
I'm taking Buffalo.
That's a good game.
I'm taking Buffalo.
Washington at Cleveland.
Cleveland beats teams like that.
You know what? Every time Johnny Manziel, listen.
No, it's not that I'm saying I'm not.
Every time Johnny Manziel gets on his horse,
because
I feel like he's one of those games you think he could beat Washington.
Cleveland,
on his face.
As a team that should beat most teams in the league.
But it's not Johnny Manziel.
They lost to a Super Bowl contender, though.
I was thinking
the Ravens Super Bowl plus that. Think about it. They took care of the team.
What's the damn Cleveland quarterback?
The Ravens, no, actually.
We just give him a call Johnny Manziel.
He definitely did.
Johnny's been out for a couple already.
They're the same Ravens quarterback.
I know, that's okay.
They're not the same type of
I'm taking Washington in that one.
All right.
Baker's better than
You're
Johnny.
going to take Washington that one? So that's next week.
Tennessee. I'm actually gonna go with Cleveland. I always root for Odell. I always root for Odell. I want 2 touchdowns, 180 yards from Odell.
You might get 2 touchdowns, 180 yards.
I'm waiting to see it.
Tell me, with Landry on one side and Beckham on the other side, and then you got the boy Chubb running. They have a team that they should be.
But they don't have the coaching structure.
I know that.
Sounds like a chef. Sounds like actually in the kitchen.
This is a tough week for them. They're supposed to beat that team. Listen, they lost to the Ravens. Okay.
And this is what frustrates you because they'll go out there and lose to Washington. Because I think Washington, I don't think they're pushover. They're building something.
I just don't think Washington has enough, though. I think Cleveland's defense fluxes them. Like he has a couple turnovers.
Remember, he beat a rookie. Joe Burrow. They just beat a rookie. Just beat him.
Yeah, and they got whooped by the Ravens, though. I think y'all looking at the Ravens kicking their ass.
No, I'm just looking at what they've been the last 2 years. They've been underachievers, straight up.
And that's how I feel. Like for the team they have,
that offensive power, at least on paper, they should be way better than that.
All right, we got Tennessee, Minnesota.
I like Tennessee.
Minnesota.
I'm taking Tennessee.
I lost faith in Minnesota after yesterday. I don't think they got it.
Yeah, that was a nasty.
That's exactly why I think.
But Tennessee is solid. Like that coach, that running back,
getting 30 carries.
Yeah, you getting it steady, and you getting it.
And what I'm going to say is, the Vikings still have a great defense.
I don't know about great.
I'm trying to tell you, there's still a great defense.
Yeah,
Pay attention.
the coach.
It's okay.
The lollipop quarterback.
Yeah.
Gotta throw the lollipop.
So we got San Francisco at New York. I'm going
Where's
with the Giants. Giants beating San Francisco this week.
You said what?
Backup
You
quarterback.
picking
Giants beat San Francisco.
But
They don't have a quarterback.
Me, you, Ty, and A could go suit up for the 49ers and beat the Giants. But come on. That quarterback gonna have 3 or 4 turnovers. A lot from come on now. Like, you don't need much to beat these
Leave Danny Dimes alone, man.
Listen, he's not bad.
Yo, can I tell you something? Danny Dimes, he got that name off of 2 passes, and now we're the Dimes in. That's what I'm saying.
He's diamonds. Just showed you the coin.
It was a second game. Second game last season. He got Danny Dimes. Stop it. Let's call him what it is. He's Danny. You take that Dimes out of it.
He's the best quarterback in New York. No,
Cincinnati at Philadelphia.
I'm taking Philly.
Philly.
Cincinnati is.
I don't know about that.
I like Cincinnati. This is a hard week to pick. This is a hard week.
Is not like
AJ Green.
that quarterback they have back there is not in sync with him yet.
Take time.
And they got money. They got Boyd.
Play that anymore on the low. He doesn't look motivated.
Who?
AJ Green.
No, he's their number 1 receiver.
I'm not saying he isn't. He has to be.
No, Boyd is there. Boyd was their number 1 receiver last year.
Because he was hurt.
AJ Green. But I'm saying AJ came back and established himself.
AJ Green should make some noise. I got a hypothetical for you.
Mm-hmm.
You switch the trades. You put AJ Green on Arizona. Instead of
he's not Deion. He's not Hopkins. Ain't not many people that are Hopkins.
But you're gonna tell me AJ Green?
He was. AJ Green at one point was.
But even then, AJ Green was not. Hopkins is a 16 catch guy. AJ Green will catch.
Oh yes, he was. AJ Green was an automatic.
AJ Green was a
receiver.
He was a deep
receivers, right? I think they're both great, right? I think Hopkins, the physicality that he plays with across the middle.
Yeah.
Like AJ Green might be a better deep route runner. Be a better deep route runner. But I'm saying the physicality that Hopkins plays with.
Maybe I'm saying this. I'm not saying he's necessarily a better receiver than Hopkins. What I'm saying is if you put him in a different situation. That's why I said that. Not because D-Hop is not D-Hop. What I'm saying to you is if you put AJ Green in the situation that D-Hop is in, if you give him Kyler Murray and you give him that same defense that Arizona got over there, does AJ Green show you what AJ Green can be? I think so. And that's what I'm saying. I think they both put up situation for AJ Green.
I think they both put up great numbers there. But if you're talking about the better individual player,
no, I'm not talking about better.
But Kyler Murray, I think they both put up great.
But that was never.
Well, the quarterback that you talking about, what's his name?
All I'm saying is if you switch them, does AJ Green have the same type of production?
No.
D-Hop. I don't think you're out your mind. Who covers him?
I don't have no idea.
How does he get covered?
I feel like it's
and now there's a quarterback that can throw to him.
I think they need chemistry over there.
Houston.
We need to find something.
So we got Houston at Pittsburgh. Easy one.
Houston at Pittsburgh? Pittsburgh.
New York, Indianapolis.
Sean Watson, you can just
lock it up.
It doesn't matter which New York you pick.
Carolina, Los Angeles Chargers. I think Chargers.
I think the Chargers.
Tampa Bay at Denver. Tampa Bay, of course.
Yes.
We got Detroit at Arizona. Arizona.
I don't know. I like that one.
Dallas.
Interesting game.
It's interesting.
They're gonna run up the score on Detroit.
Detroit doesn't have a defense like they have.
They're gonna run up the score. Dallas at Seattle.
Crazy.
Seattle.
Yeah. It's gonna be a good game, though. It's gonna be a good game. Dallas at Seattle.
Seattle.
I say Seattle.
Seattle wanted to score on them. They not letting them come.
Dallas is not a team. Yes, Dallas came back yesterday, but it's not built a team that built to play from behind.
And then you got Green Bay at New Orleans.
That's a tough
I'm
game.
taking New Orleans.
Nah, I'm taking Green Bay.
I'm
For
taking New
one
Orleans.
reason, if Michael Thomas is not there, you need him for
Yeah, you right. That's
If he's not playing, I'm taking Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers gets up.
I'm thinking he's coming back next week.
If he plays, maybe it might change my way. But if he's not there, I'm not picking him.
But then again, like I said, it's all on tonight's game. How they look without him tonight, I might take
No
him.
matter, you need him for that. The juggernaut, you need him for. Aaron Rodgers, the way he's playing, he's balling out. I'm just saying.
Another offensive threat team. Green Bay's not stopping nobody. It's a shootout. It's another shootout.
And that's exactly what the problem is.
I like Breeze versus Aaron Rodgers first shootout.
I don't know why. What has Breeze done in the playoffs the last couple of years? Crapped his pants.
Yeah.
I said so. They let Kirk Cousins walk him down and
I
take him.
respect Breeze for the quarterback, but he's not Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers can not only throw, Aaron Rodgers can get out there and run.
Where did Aaron Rodgers go last year?
All right, so I got pick of the night.
He had a bad year. He had a bad season.
No, he didn't. He went to they lost and got stomped out by San Francisco, but that's fine. They were one game of the
But
Super Bowl.
he didn't look like Aaron Rodgers in the games he was supposed to look like.
No, and they switched the offense. They went to a run and attack. They handed the ball off to the
back. B, what are we talking about? No, they went. That's what they're doing this year. This year they running more than they. It's just that Aaron Rodgers, when he has to throw, he's balling out.
Monday night, we got, don't waste all your energy on that game. You still got Monday night. You got Kansas City versus Baltimore.
Oh, that's must-see TV.
That's
TV.
Kansas City versus who?
Baltimore.
Oh yeah, that's last year.
I'm gonna take the Ravens, and I think Jackson gets
the
over
Ravens
the
look
hump.
better. They look
What is
better.
he, 0-2 versus Mahomes right now?
They look better.
0-2, I can't take the Ravens. I think he gets over the hump.
Nah, I think he beats them. Kansas City looks sensible. I mean, they just don't look
And this is the problem. If you were going to ask me this last year, I would have took Mahomes and Kansas City, but they don't look the same.
I'm still
They
taking
don't look
him.
the same.
I'm taking him.
And the Ravens are poised to. They know it's Super Bowl.
No, I just think Jackson knows that he's 0-2 versus. If this is going to be the next rivalry, he has to win. He has to
And
win.
he's looking for his money.
He has to get it done. You can't be 0-5.
You can't beat the bad team and look bad against the good team. This is the team. If he beats Mahomes and Kansas City,
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't see it
I think. I know he's 0-2. I think he knows it.
I think it'll be a close game,
I
but
think it's gonna be a good game.
Kansas City, I feel it pull it off.
Shout out to the NFL. Whoever did the schedule this year is doing their thing.
At least
It's a really good game.
At least the first 3 weeks.
Yeah, at least the first 3 weeks.
They're doing their job. So, kind of start winding down, but I do have a question. What do you guys think about this whole Offset Cardi B thing?
Offset and Cardi B. For me, I don't know what their relationship is really like.
I thought this was a sports show. Why are we talking this way?
It's hard for me to talk about.
Sports and music go hand in hand, man.
I hear you, but listen, I don't know what their
So
relationship
when
is like.
is Cardi B and Offset considered music? I'm just saying.
Listen, the young people think it's music. The young people do.
When we were young, we were listening to.
I said the young people. I didn't say I consider what they do music.
Come on.
I mean, they got records at the top of the charts right now.
I seen a meme yesterday or a couple of days ago, maybe a week ago, that said, the people of this generation listen. No, in my generation, we listen to drug dealer music. The people of this generation are listening to drug user music.
Listen, no comment on that.
It'd be hard for me to touch on it. It's a hard topic because nobody really knows. You know what they show you on social media.
But that goes for any relationship in general. But
some people are old school and they don't do that.
No, what I'm saying, but you don't know what's going on behind the scenes in any relationship.
But that's why I don't. No, any good relationship, you're not supposed to know.
Exactly. Yes. Any good relationship, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. It looks what it looks, and you know what you know. But at the end of the day, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Who cares?
A lot of people out there do.
No, like listen, you'll see. I'm gonna just speak on.
I care about the kid.
But you'll hear people say, "Oh, the whack wasn't good enough," or "This guy
But
always
this is
cheating."
why
And nobody really knows.
It's not worth the discussion.
Yeah.
If you're gonna bring up some music, bring up something legit. I don't know.
Nas dropped the album.
Yes. How do you think of what do you think about
hip hop?
Yeah, definitely hip hop.
What do you think about Nas?
I think Nas' album is dope, man, and he really incorporated some of the younger generation's artists to elevated some of his songs, make it for everybody. Hopefully,
They got a song with Fabio, and then we just shot a video for him.
And it's my bad because I've only heard 1 or 2 songs from the album. I need to listen to the album. I feel my bad.
Nas' album is real dope, though. I like it.
Really?
A sleeper album I really like is Big Sean album.
Yes,
I think his album is quality. I think it's dope. Like honestly, I think Big Sean album.
Be honest,
opened up a lot in that.
He talk about different topics in the interview. I think Big Sean is dope.
I'm be honest. There's one topic right now I can't talk about. I've been so hooked on Pop Smoke. Rest in peace, brother. Like, now, the album was so sick, and it had the 50 influence. And right now, I'm rolling with my boy Fifth. Like he's all over the place.
Shout out to 52. Yeah,
he produced the best album of the summer, and then on top of that, now he's all over TV. Like he's killing the game right now, brother. He's killing the game. Fifth is
I'm not a big fan of 50, but I respect it.
What's your favorite show, though? If you had to pick one of those 56 shows, which one is it?
For Life.
Okay, I agree.
Come on, Power is good, but Power is what Power is.
Power is, yeah.
Okay,
For Life is the reason why Power is on.
What is For Life about?
Oh, it's based on
a true story.
It's based on the story of Isaac Wright. Right. He was in jail supposedly for life, and he was arrested, but he was innocent of what they arrested for, and he eventually got out because he became a paralegal.
Yeah, like he became a lawyer. He got his lawyer.
Is this a series or?
Yeah, it's a series.
What channel?
It's coming back in like November for season 2.
ABC.
Yes, and that's why I'm saying, like,
these are ABC.
Yeah, that's why I went. He's getting the game. No, but it's a really good show.
It's a really good show.
Listen, I did not know.
One thing I do is
what day?
It's right now. You gotta watch. It hasn't come back out. The first season.
It's on Tuesdays.
But it should change because they lost a prime slot. Somebody prime slot got canceled show, so they're taking over the new slot for that show.
For Life.
It's called For Life.
It's a really good show.
It's a good show.
Like he becomes a lawyer in jail. And he fighting against the people that put him away, and then
when I tell you it's a good show.
Okay.
And it's based
Maya Moore married the guy she got out of jail. Y'all heard about that, right?
Yeah, I did.
You said who?
Remember Maya Moore?
Yeah.
Yeah, she married the guy she got out. Remember she worked. Mm-hmm. She dedicated her season to getting out. What do y'all think about that? Think they fell in love?
Love is love.
Before or after?
To be honest, I think during. I think it happened during it, like the work she put in, she figured out what kind of person he really was, like the conversations. I think that's what did it for her.
Have you seen any interview on it?
No. Have you? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I didn't get to see it.
Now they were just talking about like things they doing to help people and all of that. When they talked to the lady, Roberts.
Robert Roberts.
Yeah, Robert Roberts. Okay. But yeah, they were just talking about stuff they had going on, what they was doing, but how they got together.
Interesting.
So. Not to bring it down or anything, but since we're winding down, just a quick question.
No, it's free for all, right? This is randomness. Anything goes.
So, just because we're in this pandemic and everything, I heard something new that came out that now supposedly 6 feet is not the mandate no more. Now they're saying that it can travel more than 6 feet and it can hang in the air. I don't know if it's a new strain or they just found out something new they figured out. What do you think about that? Now does this change? Especially, and I got this more for you, bro. Now that New York City is saying, they're going to open. Obviously, it's 20%, which it is what it is. But eventually, they're going to be more because it's going to get colder. You're going to want to make business. How do you feel about that?
I think, when we're dealing with customers, personal protective equipment is mandatory. It's necessary. The more you have, the better. We try to keep a sanitizer on every table. We have, UV, we have stuff, we wipe stuff down with, wipe menus, wipe the tables, you go in the bathrooms, the hand dry, so we're doing a lot to make sure people are washing their hands. That's really all you can do.
Right, but my question is, does it?
So I mean, so for instance, if it spreads 10 feet, if you have a mask on, you're keeping it.
All right, so then
here,
is it going to be for you when customers are allowed in your business? Is it going to be mandatory for people to come here with a mask, or you?
Oh, that's the state. The state mandates that we're going to have to actually check people's temperatures.
Yeah, no, I know the rules. Trust me, I'm in the business.
Yeah, exactly,
so I know the rules.
And enforce the mask.
But for you specifically, are you gonna Are you gonna force it? Are you gonna say, "Yo, listen, you have to. When I'm not here."
You have to. You see, and that's that. But that's the problem with every business. You may have people that just don't want to follow protocol. And when you have that, you just can't let those people work. And that's why we have cameras and all these things to watch. Because yes, you're right. I'm not going to be here all the time. I can't be here all the time. But you got to make sure people are doing what they're supposed to. Because just as an anything, people get lax when I'm not around, and we have to make sure we're doing the right thing at all times. It's just a different climate, and let me make the call. I always tell them, don't put yourself in a situation where you make a call and that call goes wrong, and you're responsible. Call me and ask me what to do if you have any.
So questions. I got another question, and I meant to talk to you about this last week, was because me and Serena had a little discussion. My lady, we had a little discussion while we were just driving around and going somewhere. But me personally, and to tell you the truth, to this whole thing, I had Cuomo. I thought he did a pretty good job. But the rules he put down on the restaurants, some of them to me are a little extra. I don't know if you agree on that. Like, to me, how do you get one person of every party's address and how do you? That's a little much. All right, you want to take everybody's temperature? That to me is hard. Especially, I manage a bowling alley that can hold 700 and some odd people.
It takes the fun out of it.
Like, how do you
imagine?
You
taking grandma's temperature. And listen, but it is what we got to do. Until everyone is worried about the second wave. That's the whole thing. If we can get to December, January next year, February, things are going to start opening up.
Oh, absolutely.
But everyone right now is nervous about the second wave, what it could mean, especially when they're saying if you've had it before, you may still catch it. And that's the scariest thing, because most people have been in contact with COVID.
Yes.
So people have a sense of confidence that, they got antibodies, they got some kind of protection against this thing. But with the second wave, we don't know what it is. We don't, so there's a lot of confusion right now. Can people be reinfected? We've definitely seen what it could happen. But I think even at the end of the day, if we had to do this all over tomorrow, I don't think 200,000 people die. I think the population is informed enough. We're educated enough to a degree on what to do and how to really control it.
I think it all depends. Like you said, the population is more aware. They're smarter, especially New Yorkers.
New York, yeah.
I mean, if I know people in a lot of other states, and I watch their lives and their whatever's, their stories, and people are out there in other states with way less masks than New Yorkers.
They don't wear.
Yes, New Yorkers. I'm not gonna say every New Yorker wears a mask at all times, but to their most part, New Yorkers are doing what they're supposed to.
And you know what they do, and what's good is that they said, make sure every store requires customers to have it, and that's helpful, because I get out my car sometimes and I forget, I can't go in the store unless I have it. So, when you have, like I said, that protocol, let's get through this year with everyone just wearing their masks and protecting themselves. Let's do that to each other. Let's do that favor for each other. I think we can really help stop the spread. People that don't want to wear masks, and just want to gamble with their lives, that's on them. You know what I'm saying? But we gotta make sure for our people, we make sure we have.
But the mask is not about protecting yourself. The mask is about protecting other people, because the mask won't stop you from necessarily getting it, but it stops you from
But that's how you stop the spread.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I said. Do everyone a favor and put it on. You know what I'm saying? So that whatever you have, you're not passing someone, and whatever I have, I'm not. So it just. Reciprocity.
I mean, me. This is something me and you could talk about for hours, because then I start going into. But then there's the thing that people say: you wearing a mask, you hindering your ability to fight off things, because now.
Nah, that's hard. Like, come on. That's
saying,
like going out there and injecting yourself with stuff to see if you can build an immunity to it. That's ridiculous thinking. Like, what's the point of that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but there's a scientific thing, and this is what I honestly believe is enough people get infected. The human race in general gets herd immunity. I believe in that. I mean, that's how.
It's just people get sick. Being sick is part of the human experience.
Yes.
And that's what I'm saying. We can't treat it like now it's a taboo. Yes, this is a very serious situation, but the reality is people are going to get sick, and we just need to stop freaking out. It's the freak out that causes the panic. Everybody's freaking out.
Take better care of ourselves.
Just
even when you're not sick. Lower your sugar intake, lower your carb intake. Take your multivitamins every day. You know what I mean? Do some type of physical exercise on a regular basis. Whether I'm sure as busy as you are, you can't go to the gym, but you must walk 1,000,000 miles a day.
You see how that jetro is, and that's
what I'm saying.
Pushing that.
You must walk so much.
It's exhausting.
I'm telling you, I miss being able to work, because that's all I did was walk. I still work though, but I don't walk as much because Listen, if you ever want to go jogging, I'm down. Ty knows at the job, all we did was walk back and forth. I forgot how many steps I used to do, because I used to have, the white on there. It'd be crazy how much walking I did in a week. I missed that. But yes, you get that. I need to get back into that somehow, figure it out how I can do it.
And that's why we're saying that, we have to increase these numbers, because there's too many people in this city that rely on hospitality. It's not just restaurants, it's hotels, it's bowling alley, it's movie theater. There's so many people, so much jobs, so many people's lives are being changed. And I'm saying, at the end of the day, it's about the quality of life. If you have zero money, you're hungry, you're depressed, what kind of life is that? At the end of the day,
and it beats on your immune system on that.
You might be wanting to kill yourself in that state. So we gotta find balance somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, or you start robbing, you start stealing, So
it's a known fact that when you're depressed, you're down, your immune system isn't that strong.
Because
a lot of your mental helps your physical. You know what I mean? Like you having a good day, you feel good. You're having a bad day, you feel, my bones are aching, whatever.
But I feel that the response in New York has definitely, they handled this completely wrong. We should have been open a long time ago, at 25%, to see how things go and gradually improve. The only reason they acted was because the lawsuits came. If the lawsuits came earlier, we would have been open earlier, because ain't much has changed. The levels were low for a long time, for 2 months, 3 months.
So and
they just rather us.
And because I'm not, I kind of am, like, it kind of affected me because I'm in this business, but didn't affect me as much as it affected you. I'm being honest. I kind of believe, and I am just this way anyway. I'm more a believer as if you overdo it and nothing happens, fantastic. And you'll never know. Like, it's like the unsung hero. If you overdid it and nothing ever happens, people will be like, see, you overdid it and we were already anyway. But you don't know if it was because we did all those protections.
Yeah, but my problem with the whole process was that who are they talking to? Who are the experts? Who are the business owners that they sat down with and came up with this plan? This plan just seems to be 2 guys
I don't think
based
it was,
on their opinions.
Right. I don't think it had.
They made those decisions. Let's have a town hall. You see what I'm saying? Let's sit in the forum. Let's have a town hall and talk to that lady who has kids that are not eating because she ain't got no job and she needs to go to work and she has no other skills. She got no other job to get. Talk to her and tell her why. She can go into Westchester and eat a block away, but
and that's
her local or down the block from where she lives, she can't work. Explain that to her.
But that's when I thought the plan went awry.
That's what I'm talking about.
I think the plan
Once you open up Long Island and all of that, you got to open us up too.
And this is what I'm saying, because our manager at the largest the most popular bowling alley in the world, in Chelsea Piers, still not open to where I can even go work because they can't afford to pay the managers. Yeah. You know what I mean? But
yeah, what can you afford to pay? 25%?
Long Island has been open for a couple of months. Our establishment under the same company, open in Long Island, fully open, selling food, everything. In Jersey, fully open. So that's where I thought, if you're gonna have the places where I can travel an hour and go to and do the same thing and still come
why would I
back
come to New York? It's not a New York business. People won't go. Exactly. There's nothing for us to get in the car and go to Jersey or go to Long Island.
And that's where I thought.
And the problem is when people go find these new places, they hardly come back.
Yeah, and I'm not going to say that because if you like a place, even if, for instance, I like Amarachi. I could go to Jersey and do whatever, but once Amarachi is where Amarachi is, I'm going to come back to Amarachi.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, but what I'm saying is, like, if you mess around and find something better about, let's say it could be something simple as parking, right? You don't have to, look for parking for 20 minutes. You can just park right on and slip in. That could be a determining factor, you know what I'm saying, that affects how you move. And that's what I'm saying. Once you open people up to another option, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because even if they like you, they still not got another option that sometimes they're gonna go to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna go to.
I think they're actually at this point, feeding into the narrative that New York isn't where it's at. I think they're comfortable with the people moving out. Taking the population down in New York a little bit, running off some of these businesses, open up, real estate in different locations.
But it's not. They're making it bigger than it really is. Because I was reading something the other day that's saying yes, people are moving out of New York. New Yorkers that have been living here for years and years are moving out of New York. I was one of those people that's like, I got to get out of here.
Yeah, everybody was contemplating moving out of New York.
What I'm saying to you is, though, but there's a lot of people coming in, and you can do it at these days. There was something on the news, I think yesterday, last night, and I missed it, but they were saying that more New Yorkers are coming in, and instead of buying, they're renting. So, things aren't selling as fast as you think because there's people coming in that are like, I'm getting this. So real estate rates aren't going down. Real estate, what's really real estate wise that's being lost more than anything. It's not housing. There's not more housing available. Not more apartments available. More storefronts are available than anything else. More storefronts.
Pete, tell us what it's like in the city. You've worked throughout the whole epidemic. You've been like the soldier. What is it like in the trains? What is it like now? What was it like before?
I would say the trains are at maybe 35-40%. Like it's still, and you can still be right in your own little area and people not in your personal space, which is cool with me. But for a while, it was empty. Like the city's still at 25%. Like it's.
Well, how about like your office buildings? Are they?
Nobody.
Really?
I spoke to the cleaning lady today, right? She cleaned the whole building now. She used to do one side. I was just happy to see her. You know what I mean? Like I bumped into her today. I was like, "How you doing?" I said, "What they got you doing?" And the first thing she told me, "I'm cleaning the whole building, but I'm happy to have a job."
Wow.
That's what she said, and I was just like, "Wow. Well, it's good to see you, but it's nobody. My whole floor, I think." 2 offices open. It's like 7 offices open.
You see, and that's the thing that no one's talking about. Like, where are those people? And where's the economy?
That's what I'm saying.
A lot of the businesses.
What's the impact? The financial impact?
A lot of businesses right now are realizing the budget that they had for employees and office space is not needed no more because a lot of these jobs you can
with that. I don't agree with that.
Not your job.
Everything you're saying.
Not specifically your job, but a lot of other jobs
have realized they can run remotely
from home and then
and not have to play like brick and mortar rent
and more so
listen, nobody at my job wanted to come back to work. The other men I had working at home. Some people was like, I need to come outside. You get tired of it. But one, and you still we was getting like 15 calls every other second. You need people that's going to answer that phone. The phone ain't stop ringing.
What you don't understand is phones can be answered. My lady, you know, she worked in the city. She is the person that answers the phones and does a lot of that stuff for her business. That they realize she answers the phone at home. They forward that line directly to her cell phone, and when different numbers come up, she knows which numbers it's work and which numbers are personal numbers. And what I'm trying to tell you is,
they realize that
they have decided that they can work from home, and they already told them.
And what's crazy is
that they're probably going to work from home for the next year.
Not
my boss told me that was
just. Is it the space and budget that they're saving from?
It's more
the space or whatever.
It's more the space.
Rate, but also too, they get more productivity because people are at home now saying, I have to work because I'm being watched. No, my job has to mean or show or define that I'm actually doing something.
I'm gonna tell you something. They really thought that. A lot of these businesses thought that people would be less productive at home. They have realized that they're getting the same or better productivity from the people working remotely. The productivity is not going down.
We're having a great year.
Financially.
Yes, we're having a great year.
That's the crazy thing is like certain industries are doing so well and certain industries are not.
The industries that require face-to-face.
But that's what I'm saying. Like my boss said,
customer service and
when I was speaking to my boss today, he was like, "Yo, I wouldn't want to own the building right now."
Yeah. Yeah, because right now
he was like, I wouldn't want to own the building to have to put new companies in these places.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people feeling like, why
and you got to renegotiate. Exactly.
Yeah, like,
$40,000 a year. What am I doing that for?
What I feel is going to happen with a lot of these spaces, they're going to want to turn these spaces into warehouses.
No. I'm gonna tell you, and I meant to talk to my fellas about this. Like the new great investment thing is, and it sounds crazy, but the new investment thing is buying malls, old malls, or old, big, large buildings that are up for sale, and buying those and turning those into places where you have apartments, because especially in New York, small apartments will move, and then you have a little bit of retail, and then you have some green space. That's where it's at. Because you buy that, you turn that into that, you invest, and of course you got to get people to have money because it's going to cost money to do all this stuff. But what I'm saying is, you do that, you're going to make the money back because that's where people are living now. Places where, because even if you look around Brooklyn, all these things, a lot of these places have the apartments, then they have the shop at the bottom, and then they have the rooftop or another part side where it's just green space. But people don't have to go outside and leave my house to. No. Yeah. And that's where the investments at, and that's where the future's going to.
Road by Franklin and Fuller. You see that new building?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's right there.
And they got the same supermarket that's on my block. They have a sister supermarket right in that same building. It's the same company.
But guess what? We're not living there. And those rents are still $25,000, $3,000.
Yes.
And we ain't sniffing that.
What I'm saying is, it's not. Unfortunately, it's not about our people at our level. But if you're trying to invest, and there's companies out there, and I was just looking into one the other day, and I think I sent it to y'all about where you can. There's this company out there that you send them money, and it's not a lot. It's like $500, but you can invest. They buy buildings, rehab them. And then eventually 2, 3, 4, 5 years, they sell them. And it's an investment. It's long term. It's not you're going to get your money out in 30 days, 90 days, whatever. But
10 years.
But it's not 10 years. It's more like 3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years.
It's 3 to 5 years. You get your money back. But you're investing in all these type of buildings. Right now they're buying buildings based in I think California. But soon come, it's going to come to New York, those type of companies, and you invest, you send your little $500, and you own part of whatever. You know what I mean? You own part of 189 Bridge Street after they built it out, rented it out, do whatever. Because what they do is they
reimagine it.
Right. What they do is a company takes the money, they buy a building, they build it up, they run it for a little while, and then eventually they sell it. And when they sell it, that's when you get your money. But you're still getting a little payments when, off of the stuff and whatever else they got going on. And that's, brother, nowadays, with the way this is going, and not to change the subject, American economy, saving your money is not where it's at anymore. Just keeping your money in the bank and saving it because the dollar is not
dead weight.
worth
That's dead weight. You gotta activate it.
Yeah, you got
brothers. It's been 2 hours. Great first show. I'm excited to have you guys here. Just to even just see y'all and being y'all present is a blessing. Thank y'all for coming. Mr. A, we're signing out with you first. Mr. P, and our good brother Ty. We'll see y'all next Monday. Hopefully, God willing.
Yes, sir.
Salute.